in front of Swift.
Yes, we can see Fletcher there. He's having a look around just a bit further back as well. He was looking around to see where all the other men were, and at the moment he's just keeping it going at a real strong pace, not giving it everything for the moment, because 2.5 kilometres out, a little bit too early.
Using all the track on the inside here, and looks like Argo Shimano looking over their shoulders to see where John Degenkolb is, whether they can bring him right up. Oh, he's been pushed a little bit towards the gutter. Going wide into the corner now. This is the difficult bit, because the rumble strips on the left-hand side will mean you have to take that circuit corner carefully. And a number of riders having to run wide over the edge of the rumble strip so they don't get caught out and then back onto the track once again. Swift in third spot here. Stannard takes over, driving the pace along, under 2 kilometres to go. And everybody else is just lining up behind Sky here, Sean, just using the toe, waiting for that last 500 metres.
Yes, and if the pace is high enough, of course, you can afford to do that. And with Sky, the riders that got on the front, you know, they're keeping it real fast here for the moment. So a lot of other teams and sprinters just playing and waiting here for this final corner, really, and this final 500 metres.
This is interesting, because Stannard, Froome and Swift pulled out. I think that's Alan Davis just sitting behind Ben Swift, although we can't see the shot of him at the moment. A lot of other riders having to try and chase back on here, Sean. They missed out on the last corner, and the speed that Sky have kept it at meant that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders ahead of everybody else here.
Yes, and a nice gap here, 20-25 metres, and we can see that the riders trying to close down the gap, having a much difficulty.
Froome yelling yes, 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 I think. Stannard, huge engine, pulls along. They managed to get back there now, but that was hard work. It went to the last kilometre. One long sweeping left-hander as Froome takes over the work for Ben Swift here. The other sprinters behind fighting for position here, and the pace is still high enough, Sean, that some of the others behind, including the green jersey of John Degenkolb, in difficult positions here. Simon Clark working for Alan Davis. Degenkolb on the left-hand side of your screen as Bahani comes through on the right-hand side. Degenkolb is launched through the middle against Swift. Swift and Degenkolb with Bahani on the far right-hand side. Nasser Bahani is fading a little bit now as Degenkolb goes head-to-head with Elia Viviani. Is it going to be another for Degenkolb? Just, I think, and Viviani misses out by the slimmest of margins. Liquigas had to fight very, very hard to get back onto the wheel of Sky, and all the work from Sky meant Swift just missed out again, Sean, unfortunately.
Yes, well, we could see Degenkolb there. He was coming with Koen de Kort and just got a little bit checked, a little bit closed out, but got the opening very quickly again, and just took up the sprint a long ways out, and you know, really powerful there. We could see Viviani, you know, he was in a real good position. Looked like he was just going to get him on the line in the final couple of metres, but Degenkolb again, just that real power, proving just that bit too strong for everybody else.
Yeah, let's wait for the overhead shot to see how it is. It was a mighty fast last 5k. All sorts of riders coming in, strung out all over the place. Some involved in the crash. And Getchka coming over. And the Argos Shimano team justifiably pleased. Koen de Kort giving the victory punch of the air. Here's some of the riders been held up in the crash. It'll be interesting to see if there's anybody of any significance in it, because everybody was focusing on this man here, John Degenkolb, and of course Sky leading out. This motor racing circuit, super fast, of course, to the surface, super grippy, and didn't Sky use it well? He really did. Lars Bomb just comes over the line, winner of the Eneco Tour. There's Menchoff, yeah, in the group here. And Flesher, who's done a lot of work. Here we are. Degenkolb on the far right-hand side. Swift is passed easily in the end. Viviani coming at Degenkolb. Natha Bahani just dropping off the pace a little. Whoa, Davis and Bahani coming together. And Viviani just didn't have the power to get round him at all. I don't know, Sean. But I want to see that overhead shot again, but it always looks to me as though Swift is slightly over-geared.
Well, I think Swift had a good lead out. Again, as we can see here at the moment, as they take up the sprint, they're all in a pretty good position, but again, you know, it's all about a little bit of luck as well. If we could just roll it back a bit, we could see Degenkolb when he was coming through. At that point, you know, Swift was in a really good position, but got a little bit boxed out as they went further in the sprint. But I think he was having difficulty keeping his position. Not seemed to be in the best of days.
The win in Alcaniz Motorland Aragon is John Degenkolb, a third stage victory here in the Vuelta a España. He's come of age, Sean. He's finally arrived. Yes,
and you know, we could see when Sky were pushing on there was 5 or 6 riders went ahead. Liquid Gas were closing it down. Argus Shimano just kept it cool, you know, kept off it a bit, and when we got to that final corner, coming out of that final corner, we could see Koen de Kort. He just moved off the perfect moment, perfect time, and took Degenkolb into a perfect position.
Ben Swift finishing 10th behind Lloyd Mondory, Rojas, Dennis Van Winden. Good sprinting by Van Winden. Meersman, Benati, Bohani, Davis, Viviani second spot, and John Degenkolb once again takes the honours here in the Vuelta a España. Well, quite an interesting way of finishing sprints in motor racing circuit, Sean. It always means it's going to be pretty fast going.
Well, I think first of all it's much more safer, because we did see the time there was a number of riders run off in the corner. There's plenty of run-off space, certainly. If you do that in, you know, in the middle of a village, in the middle of a town, well then it's much more dangerous, and the possibility of crash is much greater. So for that point of view, it's good, but it's always a spectacular finish, and you know, you could see there that the final couple of kilometres hectic as usual.
Yep, not the most atmospheric of places to finish stages, but pretty logistically good. There's plenty of paddock space for the teams and the television. And here is John Degenkolb.
Started the Vuelta with a no-one victory, and in 7 days, 3. How do you feel?
It's really. I think nobody expected that much, and for today it was a big fight. We showed from the beginning confidence and took the lead from the bunch, and I feel so thankful for the boys, and they made such a good job. We ride the whole day from the front, and it's just, it looks so easy, but in the end it's so a big effort from the whole team, and I'm so happy about that.
This one is the most difficult one, maybe, of these 3.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, because today everybody was looking at us because they knew that I'm fast in the sprint, and the guys made anyway a good job, and crazy, really crazy.
Enjoy it, and congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go, John Degenkolb. I don't know, I wonder if he's from the same sort of areas as Jens Hepner. He always used to say that, so yeah. He's a happy boy though. 3-stage victories, and they said no victories at all before arriving here at this sort of Grand Tour level. 3 against well, it's not a huge amount of sprinting opposition, but I think he could hold his own against some of the bigger names.
Well, I think this will give him, you know, huge confidence, and to win 3 stages in a national and a big 3-week tour is so important, and for the team, you know, they will be really happy. And Degenkolb, you know, he is in splendid form at this moment.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that there isn't a flat World Championships, because at the rate he's going at the moment, who would put it past him in taking a medal there, but it's not. It's at Valkenburg and it's a bit on the hilly side. Let's hope the weather's good as well, as good as here. Another very, very hot day here at the Vuelta a España. They'll be praying for it being a little bit milder tomorrow, Sean, because we finish on the first category climb of Colada de la Gallina in Andorra, and this is a proper finish, this one.
Yes, and they will be hoping that a little bit cooler, because it's really going to, you know, test the ones who are suffering. I think we will see the guys' general classification men would be expecting to be up in the final. This one, I think we will see some of our picture of the ones who are not going to be really in the fight for this overall victory.
And you can see it here on Eurosport tomorrow, 1600 CET live, stage 8 from Rieda to Collada de la Gallina.